Welcome to ZooBricks. In today's video I want to show you how I made my 3D clouds for the Lego room to make it look kind of a little bit more realistic. The process is pretty straightforward and it makes a massive difference to your photographs and your videos that you take in your Lego room. So we're going to start off with some basic bits and pieces. I have a whole bunch of random bits of polystyrene that I've found. You don't want your clouds to be too heavy because obviously they're going to be hanging from the ceiling, and ideally you want to be hanging it with something that is see-through. So I've got some fishing wire, which is quite thin. So all the clouds are hanging from this in my room currently, and the basic structure of the cloud, you have to kind of make a bit of a framework for them, so kind of have a bit of an idea in your mind before you start building your cloud of what shape you want it to be and how big you want it to be. Because I have been using wooden skewers, and I basically stick them into styrofoam like this. It's not very professional. And into the side like that. And then what you can do is you can basically just trim bits off. So if you want your cloud to be kind of oblong shaped, then obviously you don't want sticks sticking out the side of your cloud, that would just be weird. So that's basically how I do it. And then you need a hot glue gun. Make sure your parents are there to look after you if you were young. And basically all you need is a whole bunch of this stuffing. And you just pull off little chunks of stuffing like this, make it nice and fluffy, and stick it to the cloud. So I'm going to show you now. Okie doke, so I've got myself a little bit of a work surface here because these hot glue guns just never seem to stop melting glue everywhere. I've got a nice bit of styrofoam to begin with. I want to create quite a long cloud, so I'm going to stick a stick in this end and another stick in that end. Now at this stage, you can wrap the fishing wire around it now, and the fishing wire holds the main structure and it just stays on the outside and you have to kind of glue around it. Or you can add the fishing wire at the end and kind of wrap it around the fluff, but then you're kind of at risk of kind of putting a bit of a belt mark around through your cloud. So I'm going to try and stick it to the inner bit of the cloud. I want it to be quite long because I don't want all my clouds to be hanging at the same height. I would like them to be at different altitudes. Let's use that word, shall we? Just this fishing wire is really annoying and it just boings everywhere. So I'm going to put it around the base like that, and I'm going to tie it in a knot. And then literally it's just the whole loop goes up to the ceiling. When you got the whole loop, it helps the cloud balance and it actually gives you a little bit of scope to kind of reorganize or redistribute the weight of the cloud. I've made a mess already. This is very messy, by the way. It is one of the most infuriating things that I've done. Hence why I've only done 5 clouds so far. But because I've overhauled the Lego room a little bit and put a new ceiling in, I thought, you know what, I'm going to finish these clouds off. So now when you're building the cloud, you need to try and keep this bit of fishing wire up and out of the way, just because it's really annoying when you're trying to put the actual cloud fluff down. So I actually had another tripod kind of set up, and I kind of ran a string to the tripod so that it kept that out of the way. So now I'm going to get a couple of extra sticks and I'll stick them in here so that I can support building out the side. Now obviously because this cloud is being supported in the middle, we need to kind of try and equally balance it out. If not, your cloud's going to hang in the sky a little bit wonky. There's no rhyme or reason to this. Literally just tearing bits off, gluing them on. I know it looks a bit weird right now, but it will start looking like a cloud here pretty soon. So you can see I've still got my 2 fishing wires coming out here, and that's supporting the main structure. And currently, right now, obviously, it's a lot heavier on that side. So I'm going to start adding a little bit more on this side. Okay, so I don't just want the top of the cloud to look good, I also want the bottom of the cloud to look good because that's what everyone is going to see. Okie doke. Well, we don't want that on show, do we? Alright. So that's the bottom of the cloud, that's the top of the cloud, and it balances quite nicely. Alright then, here is the cloud. It's quite fluffy, it's quite big, it's got a nice shape to it. Both of my fishing wire, you can see, are still separated, so that gives me quite a bit of control over how it hangs. Yeah, when I've obviously added fluff to it, I've made sure that I've put equal amounts on either end so that it hangs quite level. So I think that'll look quite nice above the Lego Zoo. Now I'm just gonna make like 10 more. Okie doke, so I have made 6 clouds. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them up now and see what it looks like above the Lego Zoo. Now I know my clouds aren't perfect and you might be wondering, why am I bothering? Well, it's all about the photographs and the videography. It's just like in the real life zoo. You want your animal exhibits and your spaces to have naturalistic backgrounds so that people who come along with cameras and video cameras, they get some really nice shots. And it's the same in the Lego Zoo too. It really winds me up. Whereas now we can kind of have a little look at Lego and you might get a little bit of like cloud action in the background, but it looks quite natural instead. And it does make a difference. Obviously this is on my phone, so obviously everything's in focus, which is a little bit annoying, but when I use my big camera for doing filming, the background blurs out a little bit more and it looks a lot more professional. So if you're trying to create something that looks quite naturalistic, then I definitely recommend trying to add these little enhancements because it does make all the difference when you're doing video and filming. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that quick tutorial. If you haven't done already, please do remember to like this video and subscribe to the ZooBricks channel, and I shall see you very soon.